Okay, welcome everybody to the May 6th general meeting of the Southampton Town Trustees, and welcome to the people that are on Zoom. Trustee Warner, would you
Yep.
roll?
Scott M. Horowitz,
Are you present?
Ed Warner Jr., present. Richard T. Marin,
Here.
Joe McLaughlin,
Present.
Matt Parsons.
Present.
We have a quorum,
All right.
Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Okay, just for information, the next meeting is Monday, May 20th, the work session, 9:30 a.m., followed by our 1 o'clock general session on May 20th, 2024, right here in Town Hall, Southampton. We did get some communications, everybody has copies of that, so I think we should dispense
Make a
with.
motion reading them.
Okay, is there a second?
Aye.
Seconded
Second
by
it.
Trustee Marin, all in favor? Aye. Dispense with that. Let's go right into some discussions. I know we have a busy meeting. Mooring whips at Trustee Docks. Parsons.
I had a quick request from someone who's going to be at the dock, trustee dockage in the Spion Shore Canal, and he wanted to know about using mooring whips. And I asked James about it, and James said there was nothing in the blue book, right? And so we decided to just kind of discuss real quick what
I
our
could-
opinion is on it.
I could tell you the pluses and minuses of them.
I've used them, yeah.
Yeah, the pluses of the mooring whips is that it doesn't beat up on the bulkhead and the dock. It'd probably be a very, very good for, the minuses is that where those mooring whips attach to the top decking has to be reinforced to some respect. It's either got to get a substantial lag bolting of the decking into the whaler, or, so somewhere along the line, these whips have to be anchored in, but I think it's great for protecting the bulkhead.
Yeah, I think what we should do is, because that area is scheduled hopefully to be completely refurbed to the tune of 7+ figures over there, hopefully after the season. I think we need to look at this a little bit more holistically, as you would say, and set a policy that works instead of just having a haphazard thing go on.
Well, there's also, there's the concern about, obviously, people don't have the same slip year to year, so they're going to be taking them out, putting them in, taking them out, putting them in, taking them out, putting them in. How's that going to do?
Well, that's where I think we're not gonna solve, we need to really take a hard look at this of what makes sense and how we're gonna handle that so that we don't have a mess made out of our facilities. So I think that.
I didn't know the slips change.
Yeah.
It's a good conversation, but we need to establish a policy on that. So it's a good discussion to start, but it's a big discussion.
Yeah, we would need to standardize what type of whip we put in there. And
So that way you could just change the, leave the mounts and take the whip out or
yeah,
something like that.
I mean, that would
Yeah.
be more practical, because if you start unbolting.
No, then
these-
you're gonna compromise our structure that we
Yeah,
just spent.
And then
Yeah.
it's gonna crack. The tropical hardwood will get splinters and it'll crack, and then it'll be
Well-
falling apart in a few years.
Yeah, you want things to look somewhat uniform and make
Yes.
sense. You don't wanna have like the Wild West going on because
No.
then it doesn't even look good. So,
Yeah.
all right, we'll work on that.
Maybe we should get Tim Wilson to do some research on them and give
And
us the
this-
research, and
and it's-
so we see what type. I mean, there's different types and different applications.
poundages,
We
different.
could do that, but I think we gotta do is let them concentrate on getting those navigation aids in for now, and then
Yeah.
we'll take this up at a time that it's more appropriate, I think, instead of adding more onto the plate
Yeah,
right this second.
especially once it's gonna be redone next fall, so I mean, that'd be a waste of time putting them all in
Correct,
there
so let's
this year.
table that, and let's discuss that, at a different venue, if you don't mind, I think, give it a little more thought. Public portion, anybody here from the public, not with a resolution that's on for today, is there anybody that's,
They don't work because it gets caught up in there.
Sir.
It's gotta have batter boards. If you have batter boards, you're fine. I don't know if you've seen how batter boards are.
Mark McIntyre, Shinnecock Hills. I just wanted to share a thought. You were talking this morning about, I guess, retrofitting or installing bulkheads with PRB features. And I was recently talking with Martin Shea downstairs, the Director of Environment. He says that the monitoring data shows that they're not that effective in reducing nitrogen. I'd never heard that before, and I'm sure Ron Paulson would disagree, but I just wanted to share that idea as you consider this concept of PRBs in bulkheads, to perhaps you want to take a look at what Shea and Paulson both say about this before you get further into it, that's all.
Yeah, and I appreciate your commentary, because in my own research of PRBs, you have to have a lot of good data in terms of whether or not that's an area that you're getting that infusion of the nitrogen, and it has to be suitable, and perhaps then you may, over the course of time, there are a lot of different considerations that go on. It's like I said, taking a medication, sometimes the side effects can be worse than the medication, and you're treating the wrong symptoms. So you got to look at this a little differently, because I've done a bunch of research, because at first glance, it's like, it seems, wood chips, and it sounds like a great thing, but you really have to take a hard look at that, and it's site-specific, and the testing and the ground flow and what is in that groundwater, it all comes into a factor, so you can't just broad brush
Right.
do a project like that.
I'm not an expert on PRBs.
Well-
All to say is that I think his comment was beyond the question as whether PRB is in the right location, where the nitrogen flow is rich into a water body. But I'd not heard that before, and it was contrary to what I'd heard about PRBs, and I just wanted to share it with you all in case it was something that you wanted to look further into.
That kind of concurs with, data and information and that I have found as I have done my research on PRBs, because I'm not an expert on PRBs, but in a position to be making decisions on these things, it's important to, learn about this, and I have taken some time to learn about it, and I think, there's got to be common sense in there somewhere, and you got to look at all these factors, before you engage in that, and if you have all the variables lining up, then perhaps it makes sense to move in that direction. If you don't have those factors lining up, and you have other situations that affect the flow of the groundwater, and you're not getting those benefits, then you got to look at other things, especially when you're talking about new bulkheads in areas where you're going to be altering that intertidal zone and changing things. It's a huge conversation, and it warrants a lot of consideration. I appreciate your point.
Just wanted to share it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else on the public that doesn't have a resolution on for something today that needs to speak? Is there anybody on Zoom that needs to address the board today? Okay, that's great. So let's just move right along with our permit applications. We're going to start with Secretary Treasurer Ted J. Warner Jr.
Trustee Resolution 2024-115, application for Anthony Recchio Jr., 24 Palm Road, Shinnecock Hills, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-272-1, body of water, Middle Pond. We worked on this in work session. I believe it conforms to our rules and regulations, so I recommend its approval. Second.
Seconded, Trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 2024-116, first renewal application of Strong's Old Fort Marina LLC, 74 Little Neck Road, Shinnecock Hills, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-234-4-13, body of water, Old Fort Pond. We had approved this originally. I recommend its approval, being that it was approvable then, so I need a second.
Second it.
Seconded, Trustee Marin, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 2024-117, renewal application, the first one of Strong's Old Fort Marina LLC, 74 Little Neck Road, Shinnecock Hills, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-234-4-13, body of water, Old Fort Pond. Again, this is a renewal of an original permit we worked on, so I recommend its approval. I need a second.
Second it.
Seconded, Trustee Marin, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 2024-118, renewal application, the first one for Canal Properties LLC, Boat Basin, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-207-4-25, body of water, Shinnecock Canal. Again, this is a renewal of an application that we were previously approved, so I recommend its approval. I need a second.
Second.
Seconded, Trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 2024-119, application for United States Army Corps, underwater land, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County, tap map 900-395-1-2, body of water, Shinnecock Bay East.
This is going to need to have an amendment made.
Okay,
You would waive the fees at work sessions, so we
Yes.
just need to make the resolution conform after the tax map, and be it resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby waive any fees associated with the permit, and be it needs to be added to the resolution to complete it.
okay.
So moved.
So moved. Any second?
Second.
Seconded, trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Joe.
Trustee,
This is confusing.
So that was for the revision, now you
Yeah,
need
I
to
think-
adopt, now you
Oh,
need to
now
adopt the
the-
resolution.
yeah.
I'm
Adopt
sorry,
the
who was the second
resolution
on that?
as changed.
Joseph,
Thank you.
are you gonna make the motion again? Joseph
I'll make
is
the
seconding it
motion
again, all in favor on
Aye.
it?
Aye.
Aye, so the
thank you.
motion
Yep.
to amend is approved, and the motion of the resolution is
To-
approved,
Thank
Okay.
As amended, yes.
as amended, correct.
I believe this is Joe's here.
Yeah. Trustee Resolution 2024, number 120. This is, application for D. Simon at 1183 Noack Road, number 900-42-3-54. I'm looking for its, approval.
I'll give you a second.
Seconded by trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 121 of 24. This is, another application for 1770 North Sea Road, number 900-76-1 -10-1, Wire Water, North Sea Harbor. Can I have a second?
I'll give you a second.
Seconded by trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 121. This is for, Bullhead Yacht Club. As I said in the work session, I am able to bonus due to my, this is not, anyway, changing the current, landscape down there, so, this is just a renewal and replacement of the bulkhead and, associated issues with dredging. So, it's number 900-110-1-7-1. It's, this is new West Neck Road. Can I have a second?
I'll second it, all in favor?
Aye.
And,
Trustee Parsons?
All right. So I got trustee resolution 2024-123. This is the application of James Trainer at 40 Club Lane. We've worked through this. Can I get a second for this one, please?
Second on that?
Seconded, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Next up, we've got trustee resolution 2024-124, application of Richard Costria at 3 Fisk Avenue, which we just went through. This is a resubmittal of a application that had already been approved. Can I get a second for this, please?
Second.
Seconded, trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I have trustee resolution 2024-125, a resolution of support for Dr. Goldberg's 2024 grant application, whereas the trustees of the freeholders and commonality of the town of Southampton are dedicated to protecting and preserving Mecox Bay. And whereas the town of Southampton, through its Community Preservation Fund, Water Quality Improvement Program, provides grants for the purposes of improving water quality within the town of Southampton, whereas Dr. Goldberg, Director of the New York State Center for Clean Water Technology at Stony Brook University, has applied for a WQIP grant for the purposes of developing and implementing a sustainable and comprehensive watershed management plan for Mecox Bay. This plan is consistent with the trustees' desire to improve water quality throughout the town of Southampton, and therefore be it resolved. Looking for a second
I'll
to
second on
support.
that
Seconded,
one.
trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have trustee resolution 2024-126. Resolution authorizing president to sign a letter of authorization granting permission to NOAA for the use of the Road H dock. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the president to sign a letter of authorization for NOAA.
I'll second that.
Seconded by trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have 2024-127. It's also an authorization for the president to sign a letter to support for the Adopt a Pond Funds program in collaboration with the town of Southampton. I would like to ask Mr. Jacques Comer who said he wanted to say a few words, I think, about this matter. You have to speak from the, you have to state your name for the record, and then I will take it from there, Mr. Comer.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I am pleased to be here. I'm actually going to read a letter from Bob Moser. He's the executive director of our group. Appreciate the time to do this. For the record, my name is Bob Moser. That's him, not me, of course. And I'm the founder of a 501c3 not-profit organization called Citizen Science Learning Center Incorporated. We're a board of 6 like-minded residents of the town consisting of 3 environmental scientists with many years of experience in education and conducting environmental investigations, a grant writer that worked for the Suffolk County Soil and Water Conservation District, a licensed real estate professional, and a manufacturing process control engineer. Under that organization, I started a project I call Adopt a Pond, where for the last 3 years we have characterized 6 freshwater ponds on the western side of the town of Southampton with respect to the presence of cyanobacteria, aka blue-green algae, and the nutrients that are considered to be the cause of harmful algae blooms. To date, we have provided the labor, field equipment, and expenses for the sampling at no cost to the trustees or to the town, but the lab fees for the analysis of nutrient concentrations by a New York State DEC certified lab are an expense each time we sample. We have managed to locate the funding from local individuals and civic organizations through our campaigning, but it is a significant challenge for us to sustain. We believe that the AAP project is consistent with the mission of the town trustees regarding their stated responsibility for the management and protection of all the town's surface water resources. While historically sampling activities have not been a part of the trustees' budget, we believe it is something that should be considered as we continue to experience the effects of climate change and the increased occurrence of harmful algae blooms. In addition, we believe there is a safety issue that we are addressing by providing community service for the residents that may utilize one of these 6 ponds, reducing the potential exposure to them and their pets from HABs. We appreciate your efforts to request the funding for the lab fees for the water sample analysis from the town board for our program this year. We hope it will be the beginning of a continued program that could be used as a model for a town-wide program by engaging citizen scientists, much like the Surfrider Foundation's Blue Water Task Force that collects and analyzes samples from bathing beaches for evidence of fecal contamination. To round out his letter, many thanks for not only the conversations we've had, but also your continued support. And we're just curious as to the timing of this resolution and how quickly that becomes a letter, and then how quickly
The letter's already done. We just have to pass a
Great.
resolution for myself as the president to sign it, and it goes to the next level. There are, you have to pay for the appropriate expenses out of the appropriate funds. And I
Yes.
believe there are some environmental funds that, is set aside to do that. The town board, that's there. They have to pass resolutions on that. And so we're done with our step here. So
Good.
our letter's already crafted. We just need to pass a resolution for me to sign the letter.
We've been very gratified by support both from you guys and the town board as well. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for coming down. You saved me a bunch of talking here. So on that note, I would like to make the motion.
Scott.
Oh, you got another person who wants to speak. We got it.
It directly relates to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We got 2 for the price of 1 here?
My name is Larissa Potapchuk, and I'm a member of the Little Fresh Pond Association and also a member of the Blue Water Task Force. Little Fresh Pond Association has been utilizing the New York State DEC CSLAP program since the 80s. And it's an 8-week to 10-week program. We send them data, we go out there, we take the water. We never hear back what our nutrient levels are for a year. What we have found is the lack of communication and timeliness is hampering us and able to think about coming to you, making decisions, taking action. We also sometimes see we see an HAB, so we will gather the sample and we will send it to them. A few weeks later, oh yeah, it's this type of bacteria. What do we do? So as a possible customer for their services, the organization, 65 members of Little Fresh Pond, highly support Bob Moser's group and the program for testing, for the analysis. The testing's done by citizen science, and then we can work forward to make appropriate decisions to take action.
Right. And I appreciate you coming down. And like I said, our letter has already been crafted. We're just following the procedures. And you figure in this day and age, with everybody's focus on water quality, there should be some sustainable funds, that, we've been fighting the oldest elected board in the country, protector of natural resources and defender of public access. We've been personally, I've been fighting for over a decade to get this board on solid financial ground because of the importance that it has to the freeholders and commonality and everybody that visits here. So we've been trying to do the exact same thing that you all have been trying to do. And I think it only works when everybody works together, when we all collaborate. So we know that there's some deeper pockets and some funds that have discretion, but they're at the, pleasure of the town board to, set that up from a more sustainable basis. And as we gain more of a solid foundation underneath our feet, which should be by January 2025, provided nobody tries to play any delays on us, then perhaps, hopefully, we will be in better shape moving forward to be able to be making decisions that better serve the environment and the public. So I appreciate both of you coming down here for support of our resolution, for the direction that, we're going to work with you on trying to get to. So
Thank you
thanks
very
again.
much.
You're welcome.
Just for a little more information about lakes and ponds, when I first became a trustee about 18 years ago, Fred Havermeyer was on the board, and there was a Lakes and Pond Committee, which he invited me to go to. And for, I'd say, several years, they would have meetings monthly, quarterly, whatever, and it had representatives from most of the lakes and ponds in the town. And we got good feedback, and we volunteered some money for some of the analysis to be done, to send off to Albany, and I thought it was a really good program, but over time, it just got kind of like, lost, interest and stuff like that. But I thought it was really good because it really honed in on the freshwater bodies in the town, which, since I've been on the board, unfortunately, have become more and more compromised. I mean, Agawam and Mill Pond have always been, hotbeds for blue-green algae. But, there's, Keller's Pond, your pond, and some of the other ponds, it's become issues with blue-green algae now, and it seems to be these HAVs have been spreading slowly throughout the town. So I'd like to maybe reinstate that program, or at least have annual or biannual meetings to get some input on the lakes and ponds that we hold all in trust for you guys. I think it would be really important. And I mean, we do a lot with Chris Gobler and Cornell on the saltwater bodies and stuff like that, but the freshwater bodies, I would say, are somewhat neglected.
We would love that. Some of the other pond people we've spoken, we highly support that, and we will be proactive.
And we've had a lot of feedback from people in the community of various ponds that are asking individual trustees questions. So I think to Ed's point, an overall town movement, I think it would benefit everybody because you can reflect on other bodies.
It just makes sense to go ahead and coordinate amongst those various different groups, and we're separate groups, but we're all sort of looking for the same thing.
Right.
To your point, too, bringing these things up to date and reinstating things that were working actually, or starting to work long ago, even more important now.
Or find why they failed and then fix those problems and see where they're going to be sustainable, I think is really most important, because without sustainability on programs, it doesn't work. So I think this is an excellent catalyst, because the more people that have skin in the game, when you say citizen science and you have a lot of people and a big collective voice, I think you stand a better chance at being successful. And I think it's more about taking a look at the energy that we have in folks like yourself and Bob, and figuring out how we best work together and direct that and get information back from more timely results from
Yeah, is the
laboratories
data
and
going to be
whatnot,
accessible to us?
Yes, absolutely. And actually, one of the major things that we're looking to push is that this stuff all be on the town's GIS database, so that it's accessible to anybody. And to your point, Scott, I think that having this become a part of what the trustees benefit from this program and also are able to actually reflect on, it just reinforces the importance of your mission for environmental quality in Southampton town.
And I think the bottom line is that we're only successful with it if everybody kind of respects it and has skin in the game. And I think education is important, by people having these discussions, and it becomes contagious and it spreads, so that there's a respect for that.
May not want to use the word contagious.
Well, you saw how bad the COVID went through the community, so you can make this great thing come through the community, and maybe we'll see a faster benefit on the environment by us all kind of rowing in the same direction here.
Pleased to talk to you guys. Thank you very much.
Have a great one.
Thank you.
All right, so now, all this talking going on, did I get my resolution passed?
You need
No, we have a motion.
I want to second it, though.
You want to second it?
Yes, please.
Parsons seconded, Warner seconded. We all in favor?
Aye.
We're all in favor. Okay, let's go to the next one now. I got Resolution 2024-128, authorizing the president to sign a letter of intent for the village of Southampton. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Freeholders and Commonalty of the Town of Southampton authorize the president to sign a letter of intent for the village regarding Julie Kremborg's Way.
Second it.
Seconded trustee Marin and trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye. Trustee Resolution 2024-129, authorize the purchasing of snow fencing and stakes for cut openings and plover program. Recommend its approval. I need a second.
Second.
Seconded trustee Parsons, all in favor?
2024-130, resolution authorizing the Board of Trustees to waive the 2024 commercial aquaculture mooring permit fee of $250 to Conscience Point Shellfish Hatchery.
Seconded trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
I just want to make a comment that they donate, thousands, tens of thousands of oysters, clams, and scallops every year to the trustees for resealing our local waters, so I think it's a really good partnership with this group. So, yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I have Resolution 2024-131. It's a recall and amend of trustee resolution 2024, Trust 24. Resolved that the trustee resolution 2024, Trust 24 is hereby recalled and amended by adding the following clause. Resolved that due to an internal administrative error, the dimensional fees assessed to the permit shall be calculated using the 2023 dimensional fee schedule.
Second that.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 2024-132, recall and amend Trustee 2024, Trust 25. Trustee 2024-25 is hereby recalled and amended by adding the following clause that due to an internal administrative error, the dimensional fees assessed to the permit shall be calculated using the 2023 dimensional fee schedule.
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
I have another recall and amend. It's 2024-133. It's recall and amend 2024 Trust 26. Resolution 2024 Trust 26 is hereby recalled and amended by adding the following clause. Due to an internal administrative error, the dimensional fees assessed to the permit shall be calculated using the 2023 dimensional fee schedule.
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
I have trustee resolution 2024-134. It's waterfowl hunting location permits issued notices of violations for 2023. Whereas the Board of Trustees finds that the subject project is type 2 action pursuant to 6 NYCR Part 617. No further environmental review is required. Following waterfowl hunting location permits were approved by the 2023/24 hunting season, and the permit holders subsequently received various notices of violation under Article 5, Section 38, from Southampton Town Bay Constables. Permit holder number 47, number 98, number 105, and number 266. I'm going to read these names in here. Resolved that upon showing of good cause from each of the above permittees, the Board of Trustees have decided not to revoke the waterfowl hunting location permits listed above and to allow the permit holders to renew for the 2024-25 hunting locations. No similar relief will be granted to these permit holders in the future unless agreed upon by a majority plus one of the Board of Trustees.
I'll second that.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye. 2024-135, this is a waterfowl hunting location revocation of permits for 2023-24 hunting season, whereas the board finds that the subject project is type 2 action pursuant to the 6 New York CIR Part 617, and no further environmental review is required, whereas the following waterfowl hunting location permits were approved for 2023-24 hunting season, and the permit holders subsequently received various notice of violations pursuant to Article 5 waterfowl hunting, Section 38 from the Southampton Town Bay Constables, permit number 200. Resolved that the waterfowl hunting location permits listed above have been revoked due to the permit holder's failure to comply with Article 5 waterfowl hunting, Section 38 of the rules and regulations for the management and products of the waters of the town of Southampton. Have a second of this?
Second on that.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
2024-136, notice on public hearing on amendment of rules and regulations for management and products of town waters for the Blue Book. considering amending the management and products of the waters of the town of Southampton, Article 17, Ocean Beach Events and Permits. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Freeholders and Commonalty of the Town of Southampton directs that a public hearing shall be held on Monday, May 20th, 2024, at 1 p.m. in the meeting room in Town Hall, 116 Hampton Road, Southampton, to hear any and all persons either for or against proposed amendments of Blue Book A340, Article 17, Ocean Beach Events and Permits as follows. Shall I read the whole thing?
If you,
I don't really,
probably don't need to
don't
do the whole thing. I think
That's a
just a
lot.
motion to set the public hearing.
Okay, can I get a second, please?
Seconded by trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
And it will be on our website, so, you know.
So Monday, May 20th is when this is all going down?
That's the public hearing.
That's the public hearing?
I think notice of adoption was supposed to be the same day.
Yeah.
Well,
Would
that
you
doesn't
like it to be
necessarily happen.
Scheduled for the same day or no?
That doesn't necessarily happen, because we always leave things open for public
It depends on you.
comment,
how-
whatever.
Would you like me
I
to schedule the
suspect
notice
that-
of adoption?
No, I think that this is, we should probably have the public hearing and
Okay.
See if there's any comments.
see if there's any comments and tweaks and things.
Yep.
I think this is a bit of a work in progress, and it's just a start of a work in progress, is my view.
Second on that?
I think we're through
Sure,
that.
second.
We all in favor? McLaughlin, right, you good?
It's all good then.
We're done, right? We're all in favor?
All in favor?
Okay.
Setting the public hearing, and we'll take it from there.
2024-137, warrant number 7 of 2024 for the amount of $39,586.13. The first payment would be Ready Fishbone Hatter of $17,037.50. Card member services, $3,388.26. Call ahead, $50. Cold Springs Harbor Fishery, $5,000. Creative Safety Supply LLC, $3,152.95. Hampton Navigation, $1,583.45, for a total of $39,586.13. I recommend its approval. Oh, no, there's more on the back. Sorry. Inner Science, for $1,681.48. Loper's Equipment for $36.94. William Decker, $312. Riverhead Building Supplies, $421.53. Sokoloff and Stearns for $3,334.09. Town of Southampton for $10.49. And WB Mason, Inc., $3,577.44, for a total of $39,586.13. I recommend this. I'll second it.
Seconded, trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank
We
you.
do have a walk-on here, right?
Yep.
So permission to walk on,
Second.
seconded, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
So we have a authorization for the president to sign an agreement with Community Preservation Fund for Water Quality Improvement Projects Funds. Resolved that the president is authorized to sign an agreement with the town, CPF, pertaining to the awarding under Town Board Resolution 2023-1215.
This is for the Watermill Fish Passage.
Okay.
I'll second this.
Seconded, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so I think that concludes the official agenda. Is there any, I know we had a lot of discussion, is there any more discussion that we need to have before going back into executive session? Because we do have another executive session scheduled for today.
Good.
You good, Joe?
I'm good.
Edward?
I'm good.
You're good? Matthew?
Good.
You good? Chip?
Send it.
All right, so based on, everybody has had all their discussions for today, I think what we'll do is I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting, go into executive session for the purposes of discussing confidential legal advice.
Second.
Seconded, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Have a great afternoon, everybody.